All right, everybody, you missed a ton of information because I'm an idiot. Pressed the wrong button. But we're here with Nick Ary at Delaware Country Club in Muncie, Indiana. Great information that you guys have missed because I hit the wrong button.
We do a photo?
We did a photo.
We did a photo.
Did a photo and then ran with it. Looked over, screen was black, and then realized, yep. So we've been looking at a couple shafts here in the fitting. Started out the lighter.
Our last fitting in the fall, right? We struggled a little bit, so we settled on the Mitsubishi Chemical, the MT95 stiff. That's what we had best result, even though it wasn't as good as we wanted it to be. It was something in a positive direction. We started off with that, hit some good quality shots, took you up to the Elevate MPH 115 stiff flex, and when you change the weight of the club or the shaft, you feel less head weight when you go heavier. You go lighter, you feel more head weight.
Yep.
Right? We know for you that we're right around 105 grams is our sweet spot.
Right.
When we go 115, club head lays off, gets behind us, the release point changes, and so your tendency is to leave it right. If we go too light, our miss is the other way, and it slings it left.
Yeah.
All right. So we hit shots Apex Pro head all the way through standard line angle. Patterns were left and right. The ones that we kind of hit really well, we hit 4 shafts. Rifle 105 stiff, which is it's a mid-kick, low torque shaft option at 105 grams, and then also the Tensi AV series 85 gram or 85 series in a stiff flex. Be careful with shafts because typically sometimes what you see, like in this case it's true, Tensi 85 might not necessarily be the actual weight.
Gotcha.
Okay. With us as fitters, we've got shaft bands, and so we know what shafts really weigh. Like this one here is a MT95 stiff, actually weighs 90. You can see them heavier, you can see them lighter.
Gotcha.
So we've got 2 options, kind of different spaces. We've got the lightweight graphite, which we missed left, and so now we missed left with the 105 as well, but we changed the line angle to flat, which we just saw with the Rifle 105 straightened out your start line.
Yeah.
Right. We want the ball to start on target, or our intended target where we think we want to hit it.
Right.
And then curve it that way.
Yeah.
The line angle doesn't necessarily dictate curvature; it dictates start point. Right. You like the feel of this one. We had high ball speed results, had an increase in distance. Dispersion was really good, but we missed it left, and so now we're going to go flat 2 degrees to see if that changes anything.
Also means the distance joke wasn't on there. Dang it. That was so good.
Oh, and he said he can hit it a Walmart distance between you and his golf ball.
That one felt right.
And we also saw earlier with your impact location, the TrackMan, we can figure out impact point on the club face. Your tendency was to be more heely, right? And so when we see a lot of heel strikes, we go flatter, which will move that more to the center, which we definitely did with the 105.
Yep.
Consequently, if we see players that have a lot of toe strikes, we make it more upright to move it back in to the middle of the face. Start line was really good, just a hair thin.
But it didn't it definitely felt super thin, but it wasn't like a stinger thin.
Yeah.
So
one thing we talked about earlier that you all missed because we hit photo instead of video, more players are starting to play graphite shafts. So typically graphite's been associated with juniors, senior golfers, women, kind of lower club head speed players. We're actually seeing the opposite, where we're seeing some PGA Tour level pros that are hitting graphite. It's just as good as steel. It just dampens a lot of the vibration. So when you miss it, you're not gonna get those what I like to say, when you're hitting a baseball and you hit it off the handle,
Yeah.
it kind of shocks you like the Wile E. Coyote does.
Right.
You're not going to get that feeling. Weight plays a lot. It plays a huge part in the delivery. Again, as I mentioned, as we go lighter shaft, we feel more club weight. But for high-speed players like Caleb, if we go too light, the tendency is going to be to get that club in front of the body and make that path go left, but we can also feel that face shut. Put you back into 105. Typically, if I see players struggling after a few swings, I'll just stop them completely because they can adapt to whatever they're swinging.
Right.
Right. Start line did its job, but there's just something we're just not real consistent, which we saw that earlier. We deleted 3 or 4 shots out of the grouping to go apples to apples, but now we're definitely seeing some data that we don't want to see. Okay, so rifle 105 stiff. And we pure it on the first swing. Right down the middle. Subtle bit of fade.
That one felt really good.
So I've known Caleb for a while. I know that he's a high ball hitter. Honestly, the shaft scares me a little bit because it's designed to launch it somewhat high, but we need the weight. And so, like, his launch angle has been 21, 22 degrees, which is kind of on the higher side. With the exception of that, might have been slightly at heel strike because the spin rate jumped up. But he's been able to keep his spin rate right around 5,500, which is where I would fully expect it to be. So we're looking for something sub 6,000. Good strike.
That was my fear. I definitely felt that.
Yeah, so launch angle on that one was 21.5 degrees. Spin rate 6,400, still right where we would want it to be. A little bit on the higher end, but definitely not crazy.
It felt more square. I just felt like I was ahead of it.
Yeah, club head speed's jumping up a little bit. Tell, like, when you strike it, it sounds different.
Right.
Believe it or not, a lot of what you hear with our ears is it translates into feel.
Right. That was left.
Not as far left as we were missing it earlier, though.
No, I definitely figured that was going to be out by those bunkers.
And it's a 20.5 degrees, 5,800, really good. Carry distance was almost 179. Ball speed was darn near 127, and club head speed was at 93 miles per hour. It's hanging in the air a long time.
Whoa. Yep.
Tempo got a little quick there.
It did.
This got stuck behind you. I haven't seen that shot though.
No, that's the first one.
Not since the 115 shaft earlier.
Yep.
I've seen what I need to see. My recommendation is Apex Pro Rifle 105 stiff. I'm going to check you with the live board just to verify it, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be too flat with standard length.
Yeah, that one definitely feels the best out of all of them.
Yeah, when you tend to miss it, it's a little heely, but for the most part, we're right around the middle of the face. I'm going to take this, put a little tape on the sole. It's kind of the old school way to do it. Dr. Scholl's foot spray. Give that to you. Grab our handy dandy reflection board. Just make one swing like it's off the turf.
Super cute. But, right back to center.
Okay. What we see on the screen, Caleb, is that where we got it on the face?
Yeah.
Little Healy.
Little Healy.
It's crazy, right? If we look at it here, kind of came down this way,
Right.
which if we, based on this strike, see how it says +2?
Yep.
That means we should move you 2 degrees upright. Well, if I move you 2 degrees upright, you're gonna hit it left,
Yep.
right? If we look at this last one, so it's kind of gear effect related. Heel strike's gonna move it more to the right. Straight shot.
Center.
Yep. I'm gonna have you hit one more. How often do you find the middle of the face?
Probably not as often.
Not as often
I'd
as you want to, right?
Right.
We never do.
About the same. That ball was up there forever.
Yep. So this one slightly more towards the middle. Okay, and look what it did to your strike. It comes back down here towards the middle where we're standard line, which is good for this being too flat. So if we've got how that club is resting, just how it rests here, doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to return that way. If I've got a player that's digging this way, so toe heavy, which is what you really indicate down here, I'm going to make this club more upright. Well, knowing what I know from you, you pull it left. So if I bend it this way, you're going to miss it further left.
Yeah.
Heel strike tendencies to be in here. So if I make it flatter, okay, gear effect is going to move it closer to the face, which is going to change your start line. We'll get you one more off that board.
Which I do feel like in my divots, there's always like, so I would think this should be a real divot, but mine's always like that, where it's like a little bit on the toe side.
So you feel like it's kind of toe heavy this way.
So like there's always like a little indention out to the top right of the divot, to where.
So do you feel like the divot's slanted this way, or is it down?
It's down.
It's down that way.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you miss it? You miss it left.
Yeah, on those
See,
it's
then
definitely
that
snap.
would be one that you would expect to miss right because the gear effect's not there. That's kind of the same spot, right where we want to see it. Okay, so now I'm just going to choke down just 1/4 of an inch. here below that double white line.
Just a little lower on the face.
Okay, same spot, didn't
Yeah.
move it anywhere closer?
I'd have to look at it again.
Yeah, the exact same spot. So typically, if I've got a player that's consistently missing it in the heel, okay, I would look at shortening it. Well, it doesn't change anything for you,
Right.
right? We know that your miss is a little heely. I'd rather it be a little heely for you than a little toey, because I
Right.
don't want it to go left. And it's gonna keep the ball in the air, it's gonna keep it spinning. All right, let's get you one more good one to end on here.
At that 1/4 inch again.
Just standard.
Okay. It was chunky. Not a very good one.
Maybe get a little tired.
Maybe. Club do the work. Yep. That one was a lot closer. Pushed it,
It's okay.
but it definitely felt the best out of all of them.
Low, just below the equator a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely felt. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would go 2 flat, standard length, rifle 105, stiff, Apex Pro club head. One thing you can do if you want more forgiveness at the top part of the bag, which you're familiar with, you can always go Apex.
Yep. Cool. So yeah, awesome, great stuff from Nick. If you want to check him out, Elevate Golf, right?
Elevate Golf on Facebook. We're on Instagram a little bit. We're starting to gain some speed with club fitting and instruction.
Yeah.
We're based out of Delaware Country Club. You don't have to be a member to be here. Matter of fact, more of our fittings and our students are non-members.
Right.
And so we're open to anybody and everybody.
Yeah, so up here in Muncie, was very fortunate to work for him, get to play out here, and learn a lot of great things while I was here. So if you guys come out here, if you're in the East Central Indiana location, highly recommend it. I know not just Nick, but everybody here is great. So yeah, get on out here, get fit, everybody.
Do not buy off the rack.
Do not buy off the rack. As Mr. Verska likes to say, get fit, hit bombs. So yeah, that's what we're going to try to do. So thanks, everybody.